I will leave you in the very safe, very funny hands of Hannah Jones.
Hello, you alright? How are you doing? Having a good time? Cool. My name's Hannah. I came to France 2 years ago just for lols, but it's not really working out for me. I'll talk you through the process of why I decided to move here. My favourite kind of underwear is the French knicker. Any fans of the French knicker? If it gets a bit windy, you might see them. My favourite kind of toast is the French toast. It's much better than regular toast, I think we can all agree. What's your favourite embroidery stitch? Any embroidery fans in? Blanket stitch, fancy. I was hoping you'd say the French knot. It's a good stitch, isn't it? It's the most beautiful of the stitches. Whenever I go for a manicure, I like to get a French manicure. Guys, if you're not sure what that is, it's when you go for a manicure and you ask them to draw like a picture, a painting of a nail onto your nails. That's my favourite kind of manicure. If they can't do that, I always go for French navy. I love that colour. I detest all other shades of navy, but French navy, mwah. And for all those reasons, I thought maybe France is the place for me. But let me take you back in time to 2021 when I was still living in England. Actually, everything was going great for me. I had a good job, my husband had a good job, we had a nice house, we've got 2 kids, we've got family nearby. Everything was pretty much perfect. The only thing I would say that could have been a little bit better was we lived in the north of England in Liverpool and it was a little bit grey. And we were like, maybe we could improve our lives. Think of the cheese and the baguette and the wine. So we moved to France. Yeah, the problem is, I'm an idiot in France. Every day I make a fool of myself. This week, I wanted to make milkshake because it's really hot and I wanted to get some squirty cream. So I went to the shop and I didn't know the French word for squirty cream. I looked around, I couldn't see it, so I had to ask someone. So I found this shop assistant and I was like, avez-vous de crème? And she was like, quoi? And I was like, you know, the crème. She still didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, I don't want to take this mine further, but I'm going to have to. I was like, vous connaissez le crème? She knew exactly what I was talking about. I actually think she knew what I was talking about the first time, but she just wanted to see how far I'd take that mine. Another time I made a fool out of myself. It's actually more like I made someone else make a fool out of their self. Was I went to get my visa. My husband's half French, that's how I managed to get in here. So when I arrived, I had to go to this medical checkup so that I could get a visa. So I had to go to this big building in Montpellier, and the first thing you do is you sign in on this touchscreen machine. And what would have been useful is a button that turned the language to English, because everyone was from all different places. But they didn't have that, so I had to make do with my terrible French and a bit of mime. The first question was name and date of birth. I managed to do that with no help. Thank you. Oh, thanks. The next question, it said tie, and I was like, I think that might be height, but I'm not sure. So I turned around for a bit of reassurance, and there was this couple behind me, and the guy did this. And we all know that this is the international sign for height, unless you're in a choir, and then, I don't know what it means, but it means something. The problem is I don't actually know my height, so I looked around again, and he said 160. And it turns out he was spot on, so thanks to him. The next question was weight. I would normally weigh myself in stone, so I wasn't sure in kilograms. So I looked around again, and he said 65. Now, as soon as he said 65, I remembered being weighed once at the doctor's and I was 55. So I was kind of offended. And I did this face like, I'm kind of offended, but like, thanks for trying, because like, you are just patiently waiting to use this machine. And his wife immediately recognised what that face meant, and she came straight back with 55. Now, even though I knew that's the correct answer, I can't be putting 55 now, can I? Because why am I getting strangers to guess my weight if I already know my weight? That's weird behaviour. So I did what any British person would do, and I went for an average of 60. Now the next question was, are you pregnant? Again, I didn't know the word. I turned around. The wife did this, and I was like, okay, I know that. It means, are you pregnant? I'm not pregnant. I'm just carrying like 5 kilos of extra imaginary weight because of the social pressure of this situation. Now the last question was the funniest question. It was probably my favourite moment of all my time in France. The last word I didn't know was breastfeeding. I still don't know it. Now, I need some help here, because how would you act out breastfeeding to an idiot foreigner? Because I think what this guy did was not the way to do it. Show me some options. Come on, don't be shy. If you had to act out breastfeeding to a foreigner, how would you do it? Okay, great. I can sit, Rihanna's having a go there, like this. I see you doing it from the perspective of the mother there. Good choice, I think. That's the normal perspective to do it from. Who does it from the perspective of the baby? Like, this guy was mental. If he'd have been the one to act out pregnancy, he would have done it from the point of view of the sperm. I'll show you what he would have done. That was the fertilised egg going down the fallopian tube, if you didn't get that. Let me show you how he acted out breastfeeding. He did it from both the perspective of the boob and the baby. He made his thumb into the nipple, and then he squeezed his man boob like this, and then he started suckling. He was making all the noises. Everyone was looking, his wife was wetting herself. I couldn't watch. I had to turn around because it was just so embarrassing. And that's when I saw the button that would have changed this whole thing into English. Thanks. Oh, thanks, nice. So anyway, I got my visa, and that meant that I got free French lessons, which was great. All my class were refugees. And I remember one day, as a French exercise, we had to go around and say why we came here to the country. And that's when I heard the harrowing story of a 19-year-old Ukrainian who had to leave her city in the middle of the night in a car. She was freezing cold, she didn't have enough food, and she said, I came to France to find my freedom. And everyone was like welling up. And then it was my turn. I was like, sometimes England is a little bit chilly. So I came to France to find my freedom. No one cried. I am trying to integrate here. Like, I am trying to learn the language, but you guys make it so hard, you Frenchies. I love you, but what is with your language? Like, they've got, you must know this, 2 words for you, tu and vous. That's fine, I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is when the verb endings change depending on which one you're using. Like, it's like they're trying to gatekeep their language and they're like purposely trying to trick you up. And so I'm not learning both of them. That's too much. I'm just gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick vous because you can use that with everyone, right? This is how I'm planning to make friends. This was the plan. I'm gonna use sentences that are kind of similar to the English. and I'm going to use vous. So I'm going to go up to groups of strangers and I'm going to say, vous voulez aller à la binge drinking this weekend? And if they say yes, we'll go out, we'll have a great time. And if at the end of the night we become kind of friends, to the point where they're going to use two of me, I will cut that person out of my life with no explanation whatsoever. No friendship is worth using two verb endings for. I'm sorry. The other thing that the French love to do is to give everything a gender. I don't want to come across as like some kind of woke millennial, but like, this stool is non-binary. Like, everything I own is non-binary. It's madness. It makes me mad that somebody's got the job of deciding the gender of things. Like, I imagine that person is an old man with a big long beard who lives in a chateau in Paris. And most of the day, he's just drinking wine, chilling out in his chateau. And then occasionally, maybe like once a month, he gets a phone call that's like, we've got a new word. And he goes over to this big sort of glittery spinner, like from an 80s game show. And he's like, what's the word? Binge drinking. And then he spins it and it's like, the binge drinking. I know that absolutely no thought goes into gendering things, because if thought did go into it, then a vagina would be feminine. But it's not. It's le vagine, right? But I'm trying to learn, right? And I'm going to give you a little French lesson to end on. Well qualified in this, obviously. Have a look at my bag, mon sac. My bag is a man. You can tell by the moustache. That's just how I remind myself that the bag is a man. Do you want to see some ladies? Here's my lady bottle, La Beauté. You can tell because it's wearing a pink bow. La chaussette, my little lady sock. But maybe you're wondering, what is the gender of a moustache? It's actually la moustache. It's feminine. So let me just add this bow to remind you of that. Now, the Frenchies here will know. What's the gender of a bow? Le nœud. I don't know. Le nœud. Merci. I said that in a German accent. So let's just add this moustache to remind ourselves. Which, don't forget, is feminine. Voilà le français. That ends your lesson in French. Thanks very much. You've been a beautiful, amazing audience. I've had a great time. And I will pass you over to the... Ooh, already. Silence that woman. It's Ian Stevens!
That was